Well, hello everyone. Today we've got a fully comprehensive review of the Kent Marine Nano Skimmer. This is what I've just bought myself with my own money, paid off Amazon for my little marine tank. I've had it in for just over a week now, so we'll have my initial views and the unboxing, and I'll talk you through some of the features and why I do or don't like it. And remember, if this is your first time with this channel, check that subscribe button and the little notification icon, and then you won't miss any videos in the future. Bye. So, as a skimmer, it works fairly traditionally. You have your bubble generator. The bubbles rise up, they pop, taking the proteins out of the water, which is the uneaten food, the fish poop, whatever it might be, and leave that in the collection cup at the top that you can then take out and clean at your leisure. And the idea being there that the proteins and any of the waste are taken out of the system, so they're not in the water, they're not in their filter media decomposing and turning into nitrates. They're out of the water altogether. You can take them away and you just don't have to deal with them. So the reason that I wanted to do this is I'm dialing this tank in at the moment. I've not got it quite right. I've got a new light, I've got new filter media in there, I've got new everything except the tank really. It's effectively a new setup, and I've not got the timings right with the lights, and I'm having some trouble with nitrates and getting some algae, so I thought I'll get myself a nano skimmer and that should help out with that, and in theory it should. So my first problem with this is actually with Amazon rather than with the actual brand of skimmer itself. If you look on here, it gives you the dimensions, which I shall list in the description. But on Amazon, it says it's 12 centimeters by 12 centimeters by 12 centimeters, I think, which would have been perfect. Yes, it is a nano skimmer, so I thought it would be very small, but it turned up and it's nothing like that. It's like 7 centimeters by 21 centimeters by 9 centimeters by 5.5 centimeters. So wildly different. So I don't know where they were getting their measurements from. But anyway, that's immaterial. The dimensions on the box show me that it should fit into the back sump section of my tank. Let's take you over there and we'll have a quick look. This is where I've got it at the moment. It's actually in the tank rather than in the sump because it doesn't quite fit in there. So the dimensions that it tells you are great, but what it doesn't tell you is it doesn't allow for the suckers. There's a fixture bit here that attaches it to the glass. Now it gives you two options. It gives you the suckers, which I'm using at the moment, or like a hang-on back clip, which makes it even thicker because that comes out to about here. And if I use either of them, then it doesn't fit into this back section. So it's just in here to help me get easier access to it. I can probably wedge it in here, and I probably will do that if I ever get it working properly. But for now it's in here just so that I can do some testing with it. So I'll talk you through some of the main features. As you can see, it's running away quite happily. I'm not entirely happy with it, but it's running quite happily. Draws the air in from here, which feeds a pump which creates the bubbles, which you can see collecting in the cup there and overflowing. It comes with this tool. It just sits in as part of it, and here you can use this to dial bubbles in, bubbles up, bubbles down, just to get it right. So the idea is that you're meant to be getting it bubbles in this inner cone piece, so as they collect all the debris and then spit that out into the collection area. But what I found is it runs happily for some time, then all of a sudden this will have a mind of its own and just spew bubbles up, and you'll end up with this collection cup just full of water. So it's a very, very wet skim. Now they do say leave it 48 hours to bed in if you like, but I've been running for a week and I've still not quite got it. It's getting better, but not quite there. I don't know whether it's this just keeps moving on its own. But it's a nice feature that you've got this little calibration bit right there, easy to use. It's fairly quiet. I have no complaints with the noise that it's making, but I don't know how well you can pick them up on the camera, but it spews micro bubbles out from some of the joins, which makes me think that it's just not very well made, and there's no way to get rid of them. I've tried various things. I've even tried super gluing some of the joins. I probably will get there in the end if I super glue everything, but you really shouldn't have to go around super gluing everything. And it probably wouldn't be a problem if I did get it into this sump section, because the bubbles would be dissipated before it came back into the main tank. But effectively it just means everything's covered in little micro bubbles, which is a bit of a pain. And you can see here the problems that I'm looking at with the algae in the tank that I'm trying to fight, trying to combat. So, other than these micro bubbles, ooh, look at that! I just found a thing. I don't know if you can see that. Is that some kind of nudibranch? I don't know. I'll need to look that up. I'll look that up later. Well, I like finding things. That's cool. But anyway, you can see the bubbles here as well, so they're just flowing all through the tank and kind of spoiling everything. So it's bigger than I thought it was going to be. It creates bubbles like nobody's business, and it doesn't seem to skim. But other than that, it's a great skimmer. I don't know, maybe I've just not got enough bio load in this tank or something like that. But you can see here, this has got water in it. So the idea is that you take this piece off completely. That's your collection cup, and then that'll have all your skimate in it, which is all like fish poop basically. Chuck that away and you're good to go. But all I'm doing is throwing away water at the moment because I can't get it dialed in quite right. But it's fairly easy to calibrate. You just move this thing. It just doesn't seem to want to stay where you calibrate it. So I like it in terms of its design. It is fairly compact. Yes, it's bigger than I thought it was going to be, but that's not Kent Marine's problem. It's the same size it says it is on the box, just not the size it says it is on Amazon. It's pretty quiet. I'm happy with that. The bubbles are doing my head in completely, but hopefully when I get this working, if I get this working, it actually does start producing a skim. I will then move it back into here. I just need to do some retrofitting to take off the attachments for the suckers or the hang-on back element. I'll get it in the back, and then hopefully I can get the lid on as well, because as you can see it stands proud of this, but if it's in here I should have enough space to put the lid on, and then I won't get quite as much condensation loss, evaporation loss even, of the water. But yes, the tank's doing alright. It's just that it's a bit rough at the moment with algae, so I need to get on top of that. But this is one of the things I think is great about the marine side of the fish keeping hobby, is you get these little things like this. Yeah, you tend not to get such interesting visitors in the freshwater side of the hobby as you do in the marine. A lot of people will say that's why they don't like live rocks. They don't want these things coming in, and because a lot of them are pests and they will eat your corals and things like that. But I think it's quite interesting. You get all these little starfish, which everyone seems to hate, but I quite like them. But anyway, there's my camera shy clownfish hiding away. Yeah, everything's doing alright apart from the bubbles. So I'd give this a rating of, at the moment, 2 out of 5, because if I can't get the bubbles stopped, then it's going in the bin, quite frankly. Look at that, ridiculous. Anyway, that was it for today. Just wanted to show you a quick review of the Kent Marine Nano skimmer and how much I don't like it at the moment. If you've got one of these and you've got any tips of how to get it to work properly, and if I'm doing something stupidly obviously wrong, please let me know in the comments. As always, let me know what you think anyway. Click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. I'll put some info on where you can buy this thing off of Amazon. Remember to ignore the size it says it is in the description. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. If you've got this thing and you know any trips, if you've got this thing and you know any, why can't I say the word tips? I don't know. If you've got one of these and it's